news at noon on Star FM 91.5 Ibadan. I am Abidemi Sulaimon. First, let's have the news headlines before I proceed. Federal government deploys probe panels in 47 tertiary institutions. Oyo CP advocate joint patrol by sister agencies to fight crime. Court jails reverse hairstylist for trafficking twins. And from the foreign scene, China approves second domestic COVID vaccine. Now to the news in details. The federal government has released the list of visitation panels to 25 federal polytechnics and 21 colleges of education as approved by the President Muhammad Buhari. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, in a statement on Friday said that visitation panels to polytechnics had 5 members and a secretary. According to him, the panels have 6 weeks from the date of commencement of sittings to submit their report to the government. The terms of reference of VPs included examining the relationship between the institution and the various statutory bodies it interacts with according to its law for the purpose of supervision, planning, finance, discipline, and guidance. Such bodies include the governing board, the supervising agency, and the Federal Ministry of Education. Commissioner of Police in Oyo State, Ngozi Onadeko, has advocated for joint patrol by security agencies in the state in order to rid it of criminal elements indulging in drug use and fomenting trouble. Onadeko made this suggestion during a familiarization visit to the state commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Barrister Josephine Obi, in her office in Ibadan. The police commissioner told her counterparts at NDLEA that the visit was to intimidate his sister agency of a presence and to seek synergy between the anti-drug agency and the state police command. She noted that the security issues at Bere and Mako areas of Ibadan metropolis, saying that a lot of people there have been engaged in dealing with illicit drugs. Onedeko enjoined the commander that a raid should be carried out jointly by the police and NDLEA to rid the areas of drug dealers and users. Acting Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ilari Kelechi Madu, has directed top officials of the courts to ensure optimal enforcement and general compliance with the presidential regulations on COVID-19, but warned of consequences for officials who extort the public in the guise of enforcement. Madu, in a statement by the Public Relations Officer of the Corps, DCC Shola Odumosu, also directed the composition of a 5-member monitoring and enforcement team to identify key focal areas such as markets, schools, motor parks, churches, mosques, recreation centers, and so on. According to him, the localized enforcement teams are to ensure that no person is allowed within the premises of all identified focal areas, especially such person complies with all laden protocols, while encouraging the personnel to go about this assignment with new zeal and an absolute sense of patriotism. He also warned them against unnecessary harassment of citizens. A magistrate court seated in Port Harcourt, River State, has sentenced a 22-year-old hairstylist, Joy Olakawogu, to 4 years in prison for stealing twin babies from their parent in 2018 and trafficking them. She was sentenced to 4 years on each of the 3 counts of child trafficking, conspiracy, and theft pressed against her. Olakawogu, who initially pleaded not guilty to the charges, later pleaded guilty after informing the court of her repentance and asked for forgiveness. In a judgment, the Chief Magistrate, Amaka Amanzi, said available facts show that the convict had been in the business of stealing and selling babies for a while. The Chief Magistrate said the sentence was to deter her from indulging in such a crime in the future, saying though she pleaded guilty, it was important the court took a stand against crimes. She adjourned the case till March 2, 2021 to hear the evidence of the second defendant, who denied that she bought the twins from the convict. African leaders will open a 2-day virtual summit today to discuss the continent's COVID-19 response as well as security issues that have been overlooked during the pandemic. The African Union Summit comes almost exactly 1 year after Egypt recorded the first case of COVID-19 in Africa, prompting widespread fears that member states' weak health systems would quickly be overwhelmed. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver a pandemic response update during the closed version of the summit today, according to a draft program. Africa CDC Director John Nkegason told a press conference that vaccine financing is also expected to be discussed. China's drug authorities have given conditional approval for a second COVID-19 vaccine, Sinovac's coronavac jab, the pharmaceutical company said today. The vaccine has already been rolled out to key groups at higher risk of exposure to coronavirus, but today's approval allows for its use on the general public. A conditional approval helps also emergency drugs to market in cases when clinical trials are yet to meet normal standards but indicate therapies will work. The approval comes after multiple domestic and overseas trials of the vaccine in countries including Brazil and Turkey. Although efficacy and safety results need to be further confirmed, Sinovac said in a statement today. And that brings us to the end of the midday news package on Star FM 91.5 Ibadan. And before I go, let's have the news recap again. Federal government deploys probe panels in 47 tertiary institutions. Oyo CP advocate joint patrol by sister agencies to fight crime. Court jails 3 hairstylists for trafficking twins. And from the foreign scene, China approves second domestic COVID vaccine. Thank you for listening. I kindly stay tuned to Star FM 91.5 Ibadan. The news was produced by Moyosere Bankole. I am Abidemi Sulaimon. Good afternoon.
Media and TV, online television. Oh, shaking, oh, Lord God.